Will is with us in Mississippi. You're on Free Talk Live, and you're listening via TuneIn. Go ahead, Will.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Welcome, sir. You're on the air.
First off, let me apologize to any listeners that may have gotten their feathers ruffled by my speech last night.
By your what last night?
My speech last night, dropping that bomb.
Okay. You said something you weren't supposed to on the radio. Go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no hard feelings, right? No hard feelings.
Yep.
All right. I read an article or two. Well, first of all, let me say, you guys want to know what I've got on my mind. Atheism in America.
All right.
I read an article or two, which I unfortunately can't source, that said atheists in the United States of America are distrusted on the level of rapists.
Disgusted on the level of what?
Murderers.
Rapists?
Rapists.
You mean that the people in the United States who are not atheists look at atheists as though they are on the level of murderers and rapists? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, that's what this article said.
Murderers can turn their lives around. Atheists can't.
That's silly.
I have my opinion as to why. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Would you guys like to give your thoughts first, or should I?
Atheists are definitely one of the most despised groups of people in the United States, and it's a shame. I mean, there are a lot of good-thinking, free-thinking folks within the atheist community. Of course, there are a lot of them also who really love the state in a way that sort of some people love their God. So I think some atheists have replaced the state or their God, or replaced God with the state, which is sort of a new form of God. But I mean, it's just always been that way. I was an atheist for a while, and I guess I'm evidence that atheists can change because I'm no longer an atheist. I'm a panentheist. And but when I was an atheist, it was not easy. I mean, I was afraid to come out of the closet, so to speak, because I went to church with my family, and there were a lot of people who were connected to that in my life, and I felt like there would be some ostracism or some rudeness. Luckily, that didn't happen for me, but I also didn't keep going to church after I came out of the closet as an atheist, so who knows how I would have been received there.
Right.
I think it's a basic misunderstanding as to the foundations of atheist morality. I think that people think
that's exactly what I was going. That's exactly my refutation of, because I feel that the argument that theists put toward atheists is, if you don't believe in a Bible or a God, what keeps you from hurting people or even killing people?
Right.
I think that's what you were trying to get at. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Which says, essentially, to the theist, the Christian or the Muslim or whomever, that what they're saying about themselves is, without God, I would kill people. I mean, that's a crazy thing to say, and they don't mean it.
That's not necessarily what they mean when they're saying that.
But that's essentially what they're saying when they don't mean that. See, here's my belief system. I believe there's a God. I believe he built a system of reciprocity into the universe. This idea of
cause and effect.
We can cause and effect, karma, whatever you want to call it. And so you're going to receive very bad things in your life, likely prison, if you choose to kill people. Now that system,
you may find yourself killed as well if you choose to kill people. You may not make it to prison.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's not a good idea to try to kill people.
That system works on atheists or theists just the same, and it doesn't matter where you decide that system came from, that system of morality, that cause and effect system.
Well, I think that over time, people have found that cooperation works better than killing everyone. That's a factor, too.
For me, what happened to me in my life is when I switched from being a Christian to being an atheist at about 15 or 16, I just couldn't Noah's Ark? What? Sodom and Babel? What? Tower of Babel? What? None of this made any sense to me. It was all, really? Hercules or Samson killed 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass. Okay, these were just stories, but they were presented to me as the truth. So therefore, the redemption story of Jesus was presented to me as the truth. And when I rejected one of these things, I rejected the whole thing. Then I was left without a foundation, a moral foundation, because I wasn't taught about the cause and effect morality. I was taught if you don't do bad things, you'll go to hell, and if you don't do bad things, you'll go to heaven. Or you ask for forgiveness.
So your morality was structured on man's word rather than observation and reality.
Right. It absolutely was.
Will, go ahead.
My way of thinking is, it is because some people would ask an atheist, well, what's your meaning in life? Why don't you just lay down and die rather than live? Because it is preferable to live than to die.
Yeah, I think that's obvious to everyone. We had somebody call in last week who was talking to some kids with some polio, or whose mother worked at a clinic where a bunch of polio kids were, and asked the kids with polio whether they would prefer not to have been born, or if they could go directly to heaven. What's that?
I think I was listening to that show. I listened, when I listen in on TuneIn, I listen back to the last week's stuff. I just go back to the archive.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep. So these kids with polio said that they would rather live on planet Earth with polio than have gone to heaven.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.